that weight difference immediately apparent. And we thank all of you in the arena here for getting the atmosphere off to a good start.
Oh, yeah, listen to that crowd. They're ready to go.
I just want to say something here for those of you watching at home. You are witnessing history. This is the first ever round of the first ever match in CJI, what we hope to be a long-running series, a game-changing event of the world of jiu-jitsu and grappling.
So 3 5-minute rounds on the clock, should they need them. And you're going to see constant action here. The scoring criteria we're operating under really do force a lot of offensive movement. Being on the defensive is not going to count for a whole lot in the judges' eyes.
Some aggression from both guys. Nicky Rod coming out, smacked on that hard collar tie, and Max gave him a little something to think about with that low kick.
Yeah, both of these guys are physical. I mean, you know, obviously Max, being so big, he's learned to use his size and his weight effectively. And Nicky Rod is pretty much known as one of the most intense physical athletes in the game. But let's not get it twisted here. His jiu-jitsu technique has actually come on a lot in the last couple of years. He's not that wrestler that we saw break out at ADCC 2019. He's evolved since then. This is a different Nicky Rod.
This is pretty typical what we see of Nicky Rod early on here, getting those collar ties in. He's in on a single here as he looks to pick up the leg and run the pipe.
I'm wondering, is he going to run into the ramp?
Well, let's see.
Yes, he is.
Jumata off the whizzer, almost lands Nicky Rod down. But we re-establish back in the middle here, and it's a good first bit of action initiated by Nick Rodriguez.
Hey, we said but Max wasn't going to make this easy for Nicky, and he just showed it right there. Yeah,
it just goes to show you, Max is not playing around out here. Like, Nicky thinks he's going to come out and just grab a single and push Max up against the wall. That is not the way this is going to shake down.
This is the other thing, guys. These 5 minutes, they're going to go fast. Like, we're going to see that time tick away very, very quickly.
Yeah, I actually love this, the fact that there are 3 5-minute rounds, because if you think about it, these rounds are so short, there's no hanging around, but the break, the opportunity to talk strategy, to game plan, and come back out, it's almost like you're going to see 3 individual matches as opposed to 1 long, drawn-out match. Nice low single coming up on that takedown.
Nicky Rod hits the single, gets slung against the mat wall.
This is trouble.
And he scrambles on top here, and Gimenis with top position, looking to move to the back.
He's got the seatbelt here. Nicky Rod manages to get out, but that is a strong signal from Max Gimenis that, hey, you're going to come at me, you're going to come at me hard, I'm going to give you an equally hard back.
And that's just a piece of action that you'd never see in any other setup.
No, I mean, let's talk about the power of Gimenis. He literally flung Nicky Rod around and span him off the wall.
That's where that weight advantage comes in.
And the way Nicky slid down the wall. You guys, if you're watching at home, notice that. Every time that a guy gets his back up against the wall, or he gets any part of his body up against the wall, honestly, he's going to slide down way easier than what you think.
It's not slick, right? It's steep. There is actually some grip on this. It's not slick vinyl, it's like a canvas, but gravity, man, it's such a fraction.
Red.
So the referee calling the first of his potential stalling warnings as we move to just under 2 minutes left in this bout. So a lot of playing surface, 30 feet by 40 feet, all 1,200 square feet of this mat space available for these athletes to use.
Pretty interesting. It's been all counter wrestling so far for Max. Like Nicky, all the action has been initiated by Nicky, right? He's taken the shots. He took the low single. He picked up the single leg.
But you could make the argument that it wasn't just effective defense by Gimenis. It turned into counter offense.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's a really important point. The criteria. I mean, you know, with just over a minute remaining, it's pretty obvious that Max is actually ahead on the scoring criteria right now. I mean, we'll find out at the end of the round, of course, that could change.
Yeah, I mean, this open scoring is really going to change the complexion of everything, but a stalling warning for Gimenis for continuously backing up there.
And that's what I was thinking, you know, like, Nicky really the one pressing forward. And look at him walk up the wall to defend. That's something the very first time that we got in the alley together, Josh, you were showing me with the karate combat, you've had the experience of watching these guys as they get backed up against the wall, they place that foot up against the wall and they essentially give themselves like a push off the wall, like a Superman punch style.
You know, guys, we're going to have to at some point touch on the experience discrepancy here. I mean, Max Gimenis, he's only a couple of years older than Nicky Rod, but 106 and 45 is his career record. I mean, the experience this guy has over a couple of decades in professional grappling is quite extensive.
He's also 4-1 in MMA, which is you know, something that we should consider as well, because Max is he's a veteran black belt representing GF Team, one of the toughest teams out of Brazil. We're going to come to the end of the first round.
Yeah,
I'm really intrigued to see how that conversation is going to go at Matt's side here.
Yeah, closing seconds, and they're going to head back up the pit wall. And we're going to anxiously await. We're going to anxiously await the scores to come in here. And as you can see, a QR code has appeared in the bottom left of your screen. Scan that code now to donate to the Fair Fight Foundation. Support all of our charity partners, Academy Christos, Tap Cancer Out, being the primary ones for the event this weekend. Go ahead and offer up some of your cash, please. Let's go ahead and listen to the corner of Nicky Rod.
Your left hand, elbow pass, single leg, put him down. Left hand, elbow pass, put him down.
Well, I couldn't quite catch what Dima in the corner of Nick Rodriguez was telling him here, but the crowd have just found out that the first round on all 3 judges' scorecards has gone the way of Nick Rodriguez.
That doesn't surprise me, really, because it felt like Nicky was the one that was initiating most of the action, most all of the action, really. And though Max did have effective counter that, again, did turn into offense.
You don't see this very often.
Yeah,
Nicky Rod pulling guard.
Well, this is the position we've seen a lot from Nicky Rod, that kind of 1 knee down position that allows him to wrestle up, and he's going to use that single to earn top position. Can he keep Gimenis pinned here?
Oh, that's interesting. He takes him against the ramp. That's going to actually make it difficult for Max to get up here.
Bit of high stepping from Rodriguez, trying to free his legs and get around there. They're going to move to the back now, and he gets behind Gimenis.
And Nicky Rod is one of the few athletes on this card who actually built or had a ramp built inside the gym. So he's been practicing, he's been training this.
But let's not forget, Max Gimenis has fought an entire match in the pit before. Back in January in Miami, he fought Dan Manasoyo, absolutely dismantled him in the Karate Combat pit. So he's one of the few guys with actual mat time in here.
I would stack 3 weeks of training up against one match, though. I think Nicky Rod, he's going to have had so much opportunity to test out, to experiment, and to troubleshoot what can and can't be done, because we just found out in a few minutes yesterday that it changes the game completely.
So Nicky Rod looking to move behind Gimenis here, and he's able to actually turn and use the pit wall to block that back attack from Nicky Rod, and he's trying to wrestle up now.
Great hips, front headlock here.
Let's see if he snaps him back down. Well, go sweep single to the back.
That's that wrestling pedigree right there, you know. Keep it simple. Just do what he's best at, you know. Go back to the roots.
Yeah, Nicky Rod wrestled Division III at Ferrum College in Virginia. That really was the base that set him up for all his jiu-jitsu exploits.
Max tried to get into his deep half guard. Ends up pretty shallow. Nicky turns. He's looking to maybe lace up a figure 4.
You know, just another note about the criteria as well. If this round continues this way, we could very easily see it be a 10-8. Because the scoring criteria, Max has been entirely on the defensive so far in this round. Don't be surprised if it gets awarded 10-8 to Nicky Rod if it stays this way.
And it'll also be interesting to see as we get towards the end of this round if he just takes a Hail Mary attack at a submission, knowing that, hey, time's running out, I'm going to get to reset. I've probably already won the round.
You know, Nicky Rod has, as we said, he's expanded his toolkit. He's not just that wrestler who used to get people's back and squeeze their face until they tapped.
Oh, look at that. Deep half to the stand-up by Max. Beautiful use of the deep half.
Oh, Nicky Rod on that tempo reshot immediately.
Put him right against the wall. It's exactly what we were talking about.
It's that easily against the wall.
Yeah, but let's also point out, that's an instance where if we didn't have the alley, that would have been out of bounds, it would have been a reset.
We got a head and arm here. We got a head and arm, it looks like. Oh no, I think Max just got his arm back in, but...
Yeah, it's just mount position up against the corner here, and Brandon, you mentioned it in the opener, right? The corners are a whole different thing again.
It's a total dead zone over there. Like, there's no good way out of that bad position other than I'm gonna have to just hulk up and bust out of this thing.
And look at the corner as well. Right there, just a couple of feet away, is Craig Jones, the founder of the CJI. We've got the coach, the B-team corner. They're right there being able to talk to Nicky Rod. That's such an important factor.
The winner of this match is going to book themselves a date in the quarterfinals with either Owen Livesey or Muhammad Ali.
Look at him lock the body triangle on the big man.
Well, it's going to go
power half.
Yeah, power half on the back here. Yeah, I'm not surprised if he just tries to squeeze across the face. We've got a minute and a half left here. He tries to turn Gimenis over, and Good back control here for Nicky Rod.
That first 5 minutes was definitely a feeling out round from Nicky Rod. He's on the rear naked here.
Big squeeze.
That's
And against the tap, Nick Rodriguez gets the first submission of the Craig Jones Invitational.
Nicky Rod just makes history. The first ever submission in the first ever match. And it's the good old-fashioned rear naked choke.
Really nice positional work from Nicky Rod. Well, the crowd appreciative of that submission here.
Nicky Rod stays alive in the $1 million hunt. First man to advance.
Well, let's go ahead and throw this over to our MC for today, Stephen
And
Aiken.
your winner by rear naked choke at 1 minute 45 seconds of the second round, Nicky Rodriguez.
Nick Rodriguez, he came in as the #1 seed. He was the guy everybody expected to have to beat, and he's with Alex Wendling.
Give it up for your #1 seed, Nicky Rodriguez, getting the sub. What a way to start out CJI, but a lot of people have been talking about the slants of the alley, but how was it working inside on the corner over there?
Shout out Craig Jones. I want my $1 million, 3 more matches. Let's go. Yeah, slants are cool. Slants, slow, no slants. I don't care. Everybody's getting beat.
Yeah, well, he's calling everyone out, and I think you are one step closer to becoming that beef jerky billionaire. You're gonna be going into the quarterfinals, so how are you feeling after that match?
Let's do it again.
We can't wait to see it. Nicky Rodriguez getting it done.